Hans Burgner's first memory is of wind-raked wheat, and his mother's voice, sharp as a scythe. Born in 1535 to a miller whose hard work barely kept the family fed, Hans learned early that life is measured in labor and loss. His father died when he was 12. His mother wept for days, then turned her grief to fury, lashing out at Hans and the servants alike. In the gray quiet that followed, a stranger arrived, Sebastian, Hans's uncle from some half-forgotten corner of Europe. Sebastian's arrival was like a burst of fire in Hans's life. The old man wore threadbare leathers and carried a satchel of odd instruments: glass files, black-bound tomes, and curious powders. By day, he taught Hans rudimentary Latin and how to inscribe runes with charcoal. By night, he spun tales of far-flung cities where alchemists turned lead into gold and drank draughts of immortality. Under flickering candlelight, Sebastian would trace esoteric symbols in the air, his gnarled fingers dancing as if conjuring unseen forces. At first, Hans believed every word. Inside him, a spark ignited. Here was a path beyond the mill, beyond grief, a path to power over death itself. He begged Sebastian to teach him the alchemist's art. Sebastian laughed, a brittle sound, and warned him that some secrets cost more than gold. Yet each warning only deepened Hans's resolve. When Sebastian drank too deeply of his own concoctions and died alone under an ancient oak, Hans was left trembling beside the old man's still form. The world narrowed to two truths: death is real and the elixir might conquer it. Grief-stricken, he packed Sebastian's few belongings: Flamel's Life of Nicolais, a rusted Athenor key, and a single map of Saxony's hidden laboratories, and vowed to finish what his uncle could not. He sold his mother's few possessions, said farewell to the mill's creaking wheel, and set out in the hush before dawn. The road to Nuremberg stretched 50 miles through pine-dark forests, muddy tracks, and towns scarred by war. Each mile he walked in silence, rehearsing the questions he would ask the masters he hoped to find. In Nuremberg, he fell among beggars and pilgrims at the city gates. He made his way to the scholars' quarter, where Latin spilled from open windows and wandering tinkerers hawked oddities in the marketplace. By day, he worked as an assistant in a printing shop, setting type for mystical treatises by Agrippa and Paracelsus, yearning enough bread to keep the chill at bay. By night, he studied under lamplight, copying alchemical diagrams until his fingers cramped and his eyes blurred. He learned the alchemist's first lesson: transformation begins within. A handful of chalk, a drop of vinegar, and suddenly the brittle stone would fizz, reminding him that nothing is fixed, that the world is fluid under the right touch. Yet the elixir remained elusive, a pale legend in brittle tomes. Friends he made were few and cautious. An Italian spice trader who spoke of hidden hermitages in the Alps, a Greek scholar who traded scraps of papyrus on hermetic lore, a street fortune teller whose cracked mirror showed Hans a ruinous vision of his own reflection. Each encounter fed his obsession, each clue a fragment of a puzzle he would not abandon. By spring's first thaw, Hans had resolved to leave Nuremberg's charcoal smog behind and journey deeper into the heart of Europe toward Prague, Venice, and the secret enclaves where masters of the Opus Magnum tested their luck against ruin and madness. With one last look at the city's spired silhouette, he stepped onto the road once more, heart pounding with a single fierce flame, to know the secret of the Red Lion, or perish in the attempt.